We'll go to Mayor Hoffman. We all got Maria Pangolina and GC coming up as well, and we got our friends at Salvation Army to talk about Toys for Tots. We get Mayor Hoffman, and wow, it's nighttime where he's at. Yeah. Oh, man, you're on Easter Island, Rapa Nui.
Yeah.
No, that's Sinajana.
Oh, that's it on you.
Wait, are we back to Festback in the Rapa Nui?
I want to go back to Festback. Okay.
That's the.
Nice.
We have a head statue in Sinajana, and then that's a smaller one that my cousin found in Jigo.
Wow.
Nice.
So
Interesting.
it's right in front of our Guru office.
Nice. Mayor, so we'll get to Mayor Louise right after this, but what's the status with the Sinanja Mayor's office?
We are all doing great. We tested negative that afternoon. They gave us the results, and a few more wanted to get retested, I believe, on Tuesday, and so they did. And so we resumed operations immediately Monday after getting our results, and then the rest of them staggered in as they got their results back. So we're in full swing. Last week we handed out the meats and cheeses and fruits and vegetables. We were the first village to get that from the USDA, and we've just been preparing. It's our fiesta tomorrow, Viva St. Jude. So that's kind of what we've been up to.
Did you hear anything about the Gumamami, your neighbors?
Yeah, so only the one, only him, and so he's done. He's out of the woods already, so we're grateful he's back at work. No one else tested positive in that area. The concern we have right now is Gura. As you know, several of them have tested positive, so they actually had testing on site Wednesday.
Right.
They actually hired a private lab to
Several
come in.
from
And,
Gora tested positive?
yeah.
We need to call Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got tested on Wednesday. They had a private testing group there, so they're testing their employees, and so we share the concerns that we're thinking about them. So it is. I believe I think there's one or two downstairs and one or two upstairs as well from the Gura side of that. But the ones did not have contact with our office, so we didn't have to go get retested again. But we're remembering them and we're thinking of them. So I believe and they had some massive cleaning done. So
Yeah.
it's just us monitoring each other. It's everywhere, so you can catch it everywhere.
Let's bring on Mayor Louise and Mayor's, because I know you guys did the food distribution, and I kind of wanted to check in. What are your constituents saying? What is the need for this food? Is it as great as it was during the first wave, where we saw people lining up for hours, lines stretching miles long, just to get a box of food? Are we in the same situation? What are the people in your villages saying when they come pick up these commodities?
Mayor Louise, you want to go first? Go ahead.
Yeah, we're still seeing a great need, and we're asking residents to register, to call into the mayor's office to make sure that they get the commodities that they need. When we did the distribution line, after we had passed out many of the food to the residents that were registered, we opened up the line, for all the leftovers that we did have, and so we were seeing many families come, then they'll come again and again, so that we're hoping, they say they're picking up for other people and all that. So we just want to make sure that everybody is getting the food that they need. And if people know of anyone else, we ask them to give us a call so we can reach out to them and bring it to them. But there is still a great need. People still are hurting financially. There's many other needs that they have, besides the food, but of course housing, and then looking for work. So they see that we're here working every day, and even if we refer people down to Department of Labor, because we don't have the budget to pay them hazardous pay, they can't come in. They can't come in to work with us.
Mayor Hoffman, let me
Sure.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Well, for us, we've been actively pushing out the application form. We use the same form for the TFAP that GDOE uses. So we've been actively pushing that out since early August. So we were able to get a good number of people to apply. And a lot of the people that we saw applying were people who are gig workers, who hospitality industry. And so we felt that, and we talked to them regularly of their needs. And Mayor Louise was right, they are hurting. And so it was surprising to see. And we want people to put away their shame and their pride on this and just come out and get it. The USDA has been very generous, and we want to thank Pacific Trucking, Pacific Unlimited, and Matson for really arranging this. So we look forward to it. One of the requests people have is, do we have rice? And I think, rice is a staple for Guam life. So that's some of the requests we sent up the chain, because, they've been giving a lot of beans and noodles for the dry goods. And then, they're saying, but you have rice. And I think rice would go a long way. So we're hoping that those requests go all the way up the chain in USDA. But we're excited because this is going to be, we understand they're going to give us these food, the perishable goods for about a year. So
Wow.
This is something we're committed to do. It took us 3 days, and in the 3 days, we gave out more than 1,150 bags. And so we were very happy with our partnership with Agana Heights on this. Agana Heights gave about 250 away. We gave away the rest of that. So it was a very busy 3 days, but like Mayor Louise said, a lot of people don't have transportation, so we brought a lot of it to their houses as well. But for those that did drive, we got it up there. It's really hard to get the message out to people because people either don't pay attention to the media or they don't have social media. And so some of them call us getting mad saying, how come I didn't know about it? I said, how else was I going to tell you? The media announced it and I posted it. I put it, do you want me to personally knock on every single door and tell everybody? So it is frustrating sometimes, but we're trying our best. And I want to thank KOAM for really helping push that out, because you guys really help us get the message out there of what's taking place and what's happening. And so as the announcements and the jigs come out, everybody kind of sends that out where they can, but it is still a challenge in getting communication. So we're just, hopefully this is going to be over soon, because I know everybody's COVID fatigue.
Mayor, people are doing pretty good because they're getting the PUA, the unemployment, and we have businesses open, so people are out there working, making money. True or false?
I would say it's in between that, because some of them were making more than what they're getting in the PUA side of it. So this little bit of the value could probably be about $50 worth of stuff that we're given. It does help. So, and I always, people saying, oh, you're going to put these other mom and pop stores out of business. But I'm like, no, now that they can use that other assistance that they have to buy other things.
Right.
So it's not like they're going to go save their food stamps or anything. So if we're giving them milk, they're going to use that and buy better cereal. Or if we're giving them cheese, they're going to go buy something else. So I don't know. I have a lot of residents on the PUA program, and they want to get back to work. They don't like being on this and having to check in every Sunday and do this. So hopefully there's going to be other industries, and this is time I think the government can think of other creative things to do, mobilizing them to just beautify it and get ready. Use this time to get the whole island ready for tourism. We're targeting 2021 in April, I think, or something, to reopen, hopefully. Let's use this time to just redo and rebuild and get the construction boom going, where we can kind of fix up all those sites. So hopefully that's something that we can kind of get going and people can learn a new trade or so.
Let's talk more, Bree.
And I wanted to just follow up on, I think it's good news that you guys are helping people who need food, but it's also not good news because people need food. So what concerns are you hearing from your constituents in your village about when this federal assistance, PUA, runs out and stops at the end of the year? And we don't know if there's going to be any other federal assistance coming down. Unless you guys have heard there's some programs that the administration is working on to help our people.
They're concerned. Yeah, no, they're very concerned. The small businesses are concerned. Every top to bottom are all concerned, and we understand that we're seeing that. We don't wish this on any nation, on anyone, and it's hard because we're so high, and we met with the public health the other day, and it's hard to figure out how do we go back to where we're only having 2 or 3 or 5 a day, and not 80 a day. And so, it became, a lot of the realities came and showed up saying that people need to work, and people, that's why it's spreading in the work site, because they can't afford to take off, or they can't stop working for 14 days. They got to provide somehow. So there are gaps. And so when this thing looks like it's running out in December, even the PPP that the small businesses got and all the other stuff, a lot of them ran out of money. So, you know, we feel for these small businesses that are trying to survive, and it's hard to have that fine balance between public health and the economy. So I think more people should come together and let's figure this out of how we can get co-op it and do some stuff. But it is hopefully the U.S. Congress does something. And I don't think in my heart of hearts is if the next 2 weeks of the election doesn't go the way it is, and in the Senate or something, then people are just going to be bad apples and say they don't want to do anything, and it's just going to have to ride out and wait. So it's, you know, we look to our leaders, and we're in a position, we don't make the decisions. Mayor Louise and I don't make the decisions, but we feel for our people because we're the front line.
Mayor Louise, was there anything?
Yeah. Well, Robert basically explained it all. You know, like I said, you know, the need is there. People are worried about what's gonna happen. So, you know, they're trying to help find alternative solutions. How else we can make money if they like cheap food. You know, there's people that you know need food every day. So we're asking them to get their own business license, or you know, where they can even grass always need to be cut. So just trying to find different ways to be creative, to be ready for, you know, if the money does run out, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to follow up also on the governor's new executive order that she signed with respect to the OHAP. I know this is something that you have been actively involved with, Mayor Hoffman. And this was actually a request from the mayor's council, as I understand, for the governor's office to take over administrative responsibilities or oversight. Can you tell us a little bit about behind the reasons why?
Sure. Well, as you know, the mayor's council actually also takes on the adult daycare. We do the senior center. We do quite a lot of that role. And so we've never grown the administrative footprint of the mayor's council. So they're having a hard time kind of doing a lot of the paperwork and reporting requirements that the legislature has put in place and that the OPA has in place, and all these quarterly reports and, other reports left and right. So we felt that it'd be easier to get that kind of command if we have people in that, and that it'd be easier to detail somebody in a position to OHAP from the executive branch than for us to make a request, and it goes up a chain and gets on somebody's desk, and a director says, well, it's just the mayor's council. So, we felt that I think it would be easier to get that, because Mayor Louise and I, we have, we meet the homeless people and we see what they need immediately, and we're trying our best kind of coordinating this with the agencies. And I would say the agencies don't respect us on this end, but we don't have the authority because of confidentiality issues, because of HIPAA, whatever else. They're like, oh, we can't give you the information or not. So it's kind of easier to tie in the administration because they have that administrative role. And then when we looked at other states and jurisdictions, that was what was happening, that it's a state initiative and it kind of trickles down into the mayor's side. It wasn't just a mayor's run and we kind of go up the other way. So we looked at Ohio, Virginia, New York, and California as examples. And then we checked on the National Governors Association, and this was a key part of what their initiative is on homeless prevention and poverty prevention. So it seemed like the natural choice. So I know by asking this, our council administrative folks, Mary Sablon, breathed a sigh of relief, because this was something she's like, between having to deal with this and then work with the agencies like EPA and putting out, hundreds of POs and doing all the other clearances, it became very daunting and very hard. So the mayor's council is always there to step up and help. We're general government operations. We do where we can, but in this instance, if there was an opportunity for them to kind of take some of that workload, we're going to work hand in hand with them. And so that's kind of where we're at. And Mayor Louise and I, and she has a few residents that don't even want to go to the shelter. And that's what we're having to kind of figure out what we need to do for their safety. And this is COVID, imagine if it was a typhoon or other else. So we still have homelessness in our jungles and our abandoned buildings, in our beaches and our parks. And so every day we get referrals. And so hopefully this kind of puts that push and priority by being a branch of the executive branch as well as the mayor's council. We kind of have that synergy.
So I guess we're going to hire more people then to run this OHAP out of the governor's office.
It's still it's still within, we're still within our footprint. What that does, it gives it the administrative power, because we were looking to do caseworkers, eligibility specialists on it for now. And then we saw some of it, because right now we need to get some information from public health, but there's some things that we can and can't do by virtue of our office as a mayor's side of it. But governor's office directing a specific agency to do something is a lot more weight than a mayor's council.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. Have you guys discussed like what's up with opening up a new another emergency homeless shelter? When we had the lieutenant governor on, he has been consistently saying that we're looking at in Tamuning.
Mayor Louise, do you have any updates on that one? Have they talked to you about your areas?
No, they haven't. And, I was going to reach out to you about it because I know that, you're our representative with the mayor's council. So that's another thing that I wanted to get confirmation on.
Mayor Louise.
I know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mayor Louise. So we heard just from people in Agania, and I don't know how accurate this is, but just people talking about new homeless out there on the streets, people that they haven't seen before. Are you seeing that in Tamuning-Tumon-Harmon?
Yes, we are. We're seeing a lot that can no longer pay their rent, and then they come to us to saying, I thought they're not supposed to evict us during this time because we're in a pandemic, but then there's the landlords that need to pay their mortgage too. So there is just a domino effect all over. Everybody is feeling the pain and suffering. Even us that come to work every day, I'm hearing even stories from working individuals, how their families are affected because of somebody who can't pay their rent. So then they have a family moving into their home. So it's just happening all over. And, we just need to continue to do what we can to help each other out and stay safe.
We need to start doing what we're supposed to do to keep each other safe, because we keep doing what we're doing, we're all going to die. It's not working.
Yep, and families are at that breaking point where if they've taken in a family member or a family that lived with them that was contributing to their household can no longer contribute because of employment. We're seeing families break apart this way, and so they make the hard decisions, and so we're encountering people who are living in their cars, who are living in some areas there. So it is heartbreaking, and it is hard to see. So our rapid response homeless crew has been responding to people that we've been referring, but they're new homeless, and we're trying to take care of the long-term homeless and the families that are homeless. So it's kind of everyone's on a different pushing, and has a different push to where it goes. So hopefully we can get that up and running. I'm not sure what the delay was for the Harmon area, Tumon area, Tamuning area shelter. I know that they looked at several sites that were available that had the capacity. I know they're looking in Tijan. I know they're looking in Dedado. They're looking in other areas there, but I know it's a GSA thing. I mean, look at how long it took just to do the global dorm one. So I'm not surprised at some of the things that need to happen on this end. I know they want to do it right, and they want to stand it up right and make sure they have enough personnel for this. For the global dorm itself, I believe only 2 of the units are that still need to kind of be fixed up a bit. We're waiting for the landlord to make those changes, and once that happens, we'll have 2 additional units that we can kind of move folks into. So there is a waiting list there, and some of the things also is the homeless need to follow the rules that at these shelters, and we're seeing that they're not, and they're getting kicked out for infractions and things, and they're breaking the rules on this end. So we've had people kind of have these arguments there, or they're causing problems with other homeless, or they're doing things that really shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And so it is hard to kind of police that. So we're hoping we can get another shelter up and running, and shore up more of a men's shelter as well, because we're seeing a lot of more homeless men by themselves. And I think the men just sacrifice it of them leaving and let the family be together, and then they end up on the streets because they feel they can survive better. So it is the men are taking a brunt of them, just leaving, because people will take in women and children. It's hard to take in a male individual for whatever else. And we're also seeing some of the people who were previously convicted out in the streets, and so these families are at breaking points, and it's just it's sheltering in place for 7 months is pretty hard.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Louise, thank you. So bottom line, people are still hurting out there, guys. They're getting the food. They need the food. We got new homeless.
Federal assistance, as far as we know, for PUA, and it runs out in December. And so if no further federal stimulus money is approved by Congress, then, we don't know what we're going to see when the new year starts.
Yep. I think one of the things is, if the schools are going to be empty, use the schools temporarily until we can get the students back in. I mean, we do it for typhoons.
Correct. Yeah.
Figure that out.
Thanks,
if the spread, but the spread is not really on that side of that, on that end. But that's an option as well. They're a shelter. They're a tier 2, tier 1 shelter. Let's use it. Utilize the assets we have. Then.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Louise.
Thanks, Mayor. This is Mayor Ruth.
Viva Sinajana.
There
Happy
you go.
St. Jude Fiesta.
Mayor, are you going to be going around with your red pen, making sure nobody gathers more than 5?
I have not heard of any family hosting a fiesta this weekend, so it's kind of hard. We talked about it with some of our seniors when we did our wellness check. It's it's a different time, and we missed those days where it was just every other house had a party and you could eat and walk the streets. And we haven't heard anybody requesting for any, not even chairs or anything. So we think that people will behave.
Plus, you're lucky your village, it's all frontage, right? It's all you can go around the road and you see everybody.
Yeah, the police have come. They've been alerted to some gatherings, and they were very quick to respond. We tell the residents, call the 311, and it does happen, and the police show up and investigate, and they break it up. So these are not large areas. It's pretty noticeable to have it in Sinajana, because you'll have to park on the roadside. So you'll see when people have gatherings, or there are more cars than normal. So I think people just help stop the spread, and stay within your family and within your footprint.
What about you, Mayor Louise? Just before we let you go, people gathering in Tatuha?
Well, we respond to that, but I just want everyone to please understand that all mayors' offices are run differently, because of our population and our whole, how big some villages are versus the smaller ones. And so, if anyone has any need at all, they should call their mayor's office. And then also, if they're seeing gathering going on, give us a call, or they can. And so if they see something suspicious, or whatever is going on, just please communicate with your mayor's office, okay, your mayor themselves.
All right, thank you, Mayor Hoffman, Mayor Rivera, for everything you guys are doing.
Okay.
Stay
Thank you.
safe.
Welcome, adios, enjoy your day.
There's some virtual Risketti there. Jason made it, so I don't know how good it is.
It's
Have
probably
a great
extra dry.
weekend.
Yeah.
Friday.
It had the texture of sandpaper, so.
Oh.
Bye, Mayor Louise.
Bye.
Okay, let's go to the phones real quick. We have and this is the link, by the way, we're KUAM FM and Agotni Guam 93.9. Let's go to the